Hello, good evening, and welcome to a kind of podcasty live streamy. I haven't actually thought what I was going to say to start this, which is a bit weird. Yes, I thought we'd discuss the splash. It was an epic splash, and I've got my overhead set up so that we can take the quad apart together and investigate what actually happened out there. Who's in chat? Finley, yes, it is starting soon. It's started. It has in fact started. Splish Splash, it took a bath. Yes, it totally took a bath. It totally took a bath. So we were on a rather lovely beach, and we did some flying. So should we start with a look at some of the flying? So here we go. So we were flying on the beach. It was very lovely. And this was my DJI quad. Now I built this from a Eachine Wizard 220 HV. You remember the 6S Wizard, which had really terrible ESCs and would just fall out of the sky as soon as look at you. So it had its stack replaced with a Mamba 405. It had its video camera replaced with a DJI Air unit. And what motors did it have? The FPV, yes, from Unmanned Tech, the FPV motors, and that turned it into a decent little DJI freestyle rig. To be honest, it's not a terrible frame. It's got plenty of room in it for putting stuff in. And here you go. You can see it flies quite nicely. We were doing some flippy floppies. You can see down there the place where it happened. This is where we were sat by the wall. Here's the much beloved going for a paddle in glorious HD. Now this is footage from the goggles, because I didn't have an SD card in the air unit, because this air unit was playing up. It wouldn't record. So it's not the best reason in the world to kill it, but it died. Well, it might not be dead. We'll find out. We'll plug it in and we'll see what happens. I've got people in my ear talking, but we'll talk to them in a little bit. And so there we go, some lovely footage from the beach. It was a lovely day for it. It was very nice, and it ended badly. Now don't worry, I have full sign off from the much beloved to put her paddling on the internet. She said, yes, people can see me paddling. Quite happy with that. There we go. Some nice passes over the waves. You know, stay well above them. And I even, now somebody commented on a photo. It was Winter Blue, I think. Commented that those wooden posts needed the gaps to be shot, and they were, which I think we should see as well. Winter Blue in chat says, I comment on everything. Yes, comment on all the things. So there you go. Boring flight, really. Not much going on, but wait for it. You've got 1 minute and 20. Who else is in chat? RC Maniac is out there. Sheriff's got all his fingers and toes crossed. Clive's out there. Hello, Clive. Look at that for a landing. Beautiful. There we go. So I'm just going to pause. You see where the breakers stop breaking? There's a big concrete wall there, and you see all those big rocks. Those big rocks keep going all the way around the coast, but at the moment they're underneath the sea. This fact will become relevant. Here we go. Some gap shooting just for Winter Blue. How can you cross your toes? I can cross my toes. Can you not cross your toes? RC it doesn't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating and gets everywhere. I used to know a girl like that. Okay, right. So, see all those rocks? Remember those for later. Here it comes. Look at those. Look at those boulders. Look at them. Look at them. And then see them under the sea there? Yeah. And there's, you see that wall, that kind of pathway at the bottom of the wall? Yeah, remember that. That becomes relevant. And I thought I'd just fly down here and we'll just go above that wall, you know, that little pathway, and it'll be lovely. And a big wave comes in and yeah, that was it. That was the end of the quad. So, do you want to see it? Do you want to see the remains? Hold on. Here we go. The lipo strap, we can confirm on Mantech. The lipo strap can spend a day in 6 feet of seawater and survive. The lipo has a significant amount of sand in it. Do you know what? It's not actually that puffed, and I don't know what condition this is in. I am assuming completely discharged by the salt water, but I haven't plugged it in. We're going to be doing that in a bit. It's wearing the red cap of shame. Here we go. Here's the quad. You can see it's definitely spent some time underwater. So it went in, it was under about 6 foot of sea, and it had to be left there until the tide went out and we could organise a rescue mission. So who wants to see me walking back? Here we go.
The question you have to ask yourself, dear viewers, is does he have a quad in his hand? Don't know. What do you think? It's hard to tell from this distance, but I don't think he did. No quad. No, that's just he's looking at his watch. He has no quad. Oh dear, viewers. Oh dear. It's a sad day in Killer Quad Towers. Cerbie's lost his very first quad. Oh dear. And you see that little outcrop right at the end of the beach? Yeah, that's that's what he's just had to go to. There and back.
And that was a long walk,
so,
let me tell you.
He has no quad in his hand, but he's still smiling. No quads. No quads.
That quad now belongs to Poseidon. It's gone. Yep, gone. Indeed, it was gone. At that point, we thought that I had lost my very first quad. I've never lost a quad, so I still haven't ever lost a quad because we did find it. But we'll talk about finding it in a little bit. Right, let's see who's out there. What we're talking about. Ask you a minute. Your quad matches your car now. Plenty of. Yes, the SLK does have some rust, but it was cheap. It was cheap for a reason because it had some rust. So, who wants to see what this is going to do? Should we? Let's. We've got the lipo. We've got the cell checker. So. I've got people talking in my ear that you don't know here yet. So I've been asked to place your bets, and that's actually not a bad idea. So chat, place your bets on the voltage of this lipo. I'm going to say it's dead. I'm going to say it's 0, and I'm going to plug it in and nothing's even going to happen. So what do you think, chat? Place your bets now. Winter Blue says 3.8 volts per cell. I think that's ambitious. Sheriff says, I've heard lipos will corrode the terminals before dying. I've heard this as well. RC Maniac, 2.5 volts per cell. Tell you what, I think we need to get someone in for their live opinion. It's winter blue.
3.8 volts. 3.8 volts. That's what I'm going
I think
with.
that's ambitious. Finley says 1.5 per cell. Sheriff says 4.2. I don't think seawater charges lipos. Right, here we go. You ready for this?
You're ready for this?
Ready for this? Right, I'm going to swap over to... Oh, hold on. Let's swap over to the close-up cam. You've gone. They can't hear you or anything. Oh, my word. Right. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That is completely discharged, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Winter blue. Were you expecting that?
I do you know what? I kind of half was, but what I'd like to see is I'd like to see you short your smoke stopper at one end and plug in the LiPo at the other, and see if you get even a faint whiff of electricity from it. It does actually have some.
Okay, hold on.
I also think it might be fun to dissect it if it is 0 volts.
Well, maybe
someone needs a multimeter, says Arsene.
We'll maybe dissect it another day. Right, so as you can see on the desk, the multimeter has made an appearance. Right, okay then. So boop. Let's set it to voltage. Okay.
Sheriff, I think you're right there, mate. Such a high voltage, it instantly killed the checker.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe it's a fault.
Oh my god, the XT60 is full of green nastiness. Right, hold on.
1 million volts.
Oh! Can you see that?
0.52, I think that's it.
0.52 volts, and that's across the XT60. So who knows what the cells are? Oh, there's rust and everything going everywhere. I knew this was going to be bad.
This is such a good idea, mainly because Cerb's desk is going to be covered in little traces of rust for days. It's going to drive him mad.
Oh, so one of the cells, it's just one cell has a little bit of voltage left on the balance lead. Oh no. Anyway, I'm not really that interested in that. That's a dead lipo. It was one of my favourite lipos.
You should try charging it.
It was my R-lines, and I quite like those. But that is dead. The close-up camera is also dead because I just dropped it on the floor. It's okay. It survived.
So breaking things on a daily basis for your entertainment.
So here we go. 1 million volts. So
that'd be awesome.
Let's put.
I wonder how long the motors would last at 1 million volts.
Put that away. So what did we do? Well, we went back to the campsite because we were indeed on holiday doing a camping, and we waited basically, which was a bit mad. Did we? I think we cooked. Did we cook? And we had something to eat, and
there were pictures of sausages.
Yes, I cooked a lot of sausages and a lot of bacon, and it was very awesome. And then at 8 o'clock we headed back. We headed back to the beach, and I managed to get up onto that kind of walkway at the bottom of that concrete wall. I clambered across the rocks, and I managed.
Now the question you must ask yourself, fellow viewers, is why are we back again at the beach? Well, he went searching for his quad all the way. Hang on, let me zoom in. All the way back there. So the question you've got to ask yourself, see, I'm not foolish, I didn't stay, I stayed in the car, I didn't walk that far. But the question is, does he have it? Well, hopefully we'll soon find out.
I don't know where I've gone at this point. So I've walked back, I've arrived back, but there are a bunch of people on the other side of this wall, and they're kind of interrogating me about, why do you have a drone and you don't seem to have a controller with you. It's like, well, there's no point in bringing a controller with me because it was dead. And I'm telling them the story of why it was dead. And do you know what? They were quite chill.
Anticipation.
They were pro-drone.
Like being at the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
So Sheriff says, if you don't want that
I've
lipo,
just seen him walk
I
down
volunteer
that
to
beach,
charge it and
honestly.
fly. Done.
That's not him popping his head up. That's not him popping his head up either.
Hey, Failsafe, how you doing?
Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. What's that in his hand?
It is.
What's that in his hand? It's a quad.
Yeah, get out of the shop, Mr. Blue Jumper.
Yay!
You wouldn't believe what mission that was to get to.
Where was it?
It was... Can you kind of make out the rocks at the bottom?
Yep.
Like, that just turned into, like, big size rocks all the way around, like the sea defence. So it was a bit like rock climbing, but horizontal. And they're all soaking wet, and they're all covered in seaweed. And I'm not wearing appropriate footwear. And, yeah, I just worked my way along, and I managed to get up onto the wall, which in the video of it going down, you saw the wall. And that was covered in seaweed, and it was slippery as hell. So like, if I slip off this, I am dead, because I'm just going straight onto the rocks below. So I just tiptoed along it really slowly, like every now and then stopping and risking a look. And I got past where that antenna was that we saw in the footage. I thought, well, I'm nearly to the bridge now. So it was headed in this direction when it went in, so I'm not finding it. So I turned around and started coming back, and I'm thinking, well, coming back, I'm going to see the other side of all the rocks. And there was a big rock, and it was wedged down under it like that. So I could only see it from the other side coming back.
Was it underwater?
No, it wasn't underwater. The tide had gone out, but it was nicely wedged. But it had been underwater.
Oh.
The wall was so slick,
6 feet
I
underwater.
didn't try and get down the wall, so I had to go all the way back to the start, back down into the rocks, and then rock climb all the way along these rocks. I memorised like with the shape and what the rock looked like that it was under. Got to that rock, and there it was. It is Banjax. It was still plugged in when I got to it, so I unplugged it. I was praying it would have unplugged in the crash. It didn't. It was plugged in. So this lipo is.
So you've got a usable frame then?
The lipo isn't very puffy.
I never answer that.
Are
I'm so excited.
So the lipo is done. The antennas maybe I could use.
And the frame?
The crossfire antenna and the props are probably all reusable. That. But we found it. That's the main thing.
Yay! High five!
Let's go home.
So there you go. If you ever wondered what I look like when I'm absolutely chock full of adrenaline, that would be it. I am wide-eyed because I am like, oh my lord, that was so sketch. I very nearly killed my ass. I really did.
It's the fact you're absolutely so excited.
and I'm soaked, and my shoes are ruined, and my glasses are covered in sea spray. And it was just crazy.
Do you know why your quad got wet?
Do I know why my quad got wet? It was 6 feet underwater.
That's because the seaweed.
Oh right, okay. Yes, there was a lot of that, and the seaweed covered rocks are super sketchy. Don't do it, folks. Abandon your quad. At least the props are still okay. They are. The props are looking pretty good actually. The props are looking pretty good. So
I reckon the antennas on the air unit are probably all right too.
I'm hoping the air.
As is the XT60.
Do you know what? If the air unit was okay, I would be really happy. So, what you've really come for is me getting stuck in and taking this thing apart. So let's do that, shall we? I'm going to start with taking the. I'm not actually not going to take the props off yet. There is a reason I'm not taking the props off, which will become apparent.
Just on a side note, there's a video you need to edit, and you need to get on and do that because that was a lot of effort for us.
Yes, there was a lot of effort for all involved. And the next episode of Quad Erratic,
whenever
that is, we've kind of stopped doing Quad Erratic, and nobody noticed, which worries me slightly.
We've just been really busy with,
It
life.
has been kind of crazy. So I finished my old job, which I can now call my old job, on Friday.
Congratulations.
My last day with those people. And I use the phrase people loosely. I'm going back on the 15th. I've got a staff party, a staff barbecue. So I'm going along for that. Apparently that's when all the speeches and things will be, and people saying their goodbyes. I'm quite surprised that these screws are coming undone, and actually not that rusty.
That looks screwy.
Not that rusty. So they've got rusty little heads, which reminds me of a girl I used to know. Brushless motors are meant to be waterproof. Yes, they are.
The problem isn't the water or the salt, in fact, in this case.
I have hopes. I do have hopes.
The problem comes from particles in the water that will.
So hold on, let's turn you back on in that corner. Right, let's have a little look. That's looking a little sandy.
It is looking a bit sketch.
I tell you what I haven't done.
I do just want to comment before you do anything else. Go back to your flight controller a second.
Ah,
Look how neat and tidy that soldering is.
of course it is.
That's lovely. Good job.
Oh, look at the motor wires where they attach.
To the ESC. See, they're nice and tidy too. Although a little corroded.
They were little corroded. Brushless motors are waterproof, sand, salt, and magnetic. Yes. I don't know if you spotted in that little video. There were black lines down all the motors, and I didn't figure out what that was until we got it back to the campsite, and it was actually this weird magnetic sand crap that had attached itself, so it lined up perfectly with all the motors. Right, what am I going to get next? I think
I'd get the air unit out.
I'm going to try for the air unit and the flight controller. So let's try and
Overhead cam.
you want overhead for that one? Go on then, we can do that.
Yeah, your hands are in the way.
There we go. Let's try and undo my nuts
Oh, doesn't he have big hands?
without taking
Always got a girlfriend with small hands on us.
Yep, absolutely.
RC Maniac wants to know, can you turn the motors by hand, or are they a tad crunchy?
They are seized solid. They are absolutely seized solid. Now that's kind of why I'm leaving the props on, because I want to use the props for leverage at a later date. So
You can move the world if you have a big enough lever.
yes, absolutely. Why can't I get that off? Stop using the ratchet.
Why can't you get off?
Don't lower the tone. We're not at the watershed yet.
I'm not allowed to. Sarah's just told me off for lowering the time.
No, I haven't.
No, Serb has.
Oh, I've knocked the little camera. Good grief. So my little close-up camera is just going to get destroyed. I can sense it. Right. If we can get the flight controller off, we can at least have a little look.
See how much magnetic sand there is in that.
Yeah. I haven't. Oh, I tell you what, I haven't done. I haven't given it the sniff test. I haven't given it the sniff test. Are you ready? Oh.
Smells like the sea. Smells like poop.
No.
Smells of salt.
It smells like burnt electronics.
That surprises me, given that it's been in the sea. Not that it has burnt electronics, that it actually still smells of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's had a good. I mean, how long did we wait before we went back? I think we went back about
6-8 hours.
Yeah, I think about 6 hours. So it was underwater for a good 4 or 5 hours. When the tide went out, luckily it crashed in sort of right by that wall. So at the base of the wall. Yes, the magic smoke smell.
I still want you to plug a live lipo into it.
No.
I really, really want you to. I was saying to Seb before the show, you've got to plug a lipo in. You just have to do it.
So
Put a smoke stopper on it and hit play. Unplug the air unit first, because that's just on a plug, right?
yeah.
So unplug the air unit and then just plug a battery in and see if it goes pop.
Bubble,
What have
bubble,
you got to
bubble,
lose?
pop. I wonder if I can get these screws out of the air unit posts. What I'm thinking to do is I might plug a USB lead into the flight controller and plug it into the PC and just see if it's recognised.
Oh no, where's the fun in that? It needs to be a lipo, a fully charged
No.
6S lipo.
When you retrieve your quad from the sea, you can do that. If it was upside down, the electrons would have fallen out. Yes, I don't know. Look at that. Crusty.
Still got some life in it. Guys in the chat, if you think Serb should plug a lipo into his quad, shout out.
A lot of
It'll be fun.
the standoffs are all a bit munched.
Lipo.
No, behave. Right.
So glad you brought me on now, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a TPU mount.
That survived.
Yeah, so that's reusable. Add that to the list of assets.
Clive says release the smoke. Release the
I
kraken.
think the smoke has been released. I think the smoke has pretty comprehensively been released. So look, can we get this? Oh yeah, that unplugged nicely. Oh, the camera's still. The camera is under the.
Yeah, leave the camera where it is. Undo the 2 screws on the air unit and unplug it from there.
Oh, here's interesting. Undo the 2 screws on the air unit.
Yeah, there's 2 screws at the front of the air unit. Undo those 2 screws. Yep, those 2. That cover comes off, and then you can just unplug the cable.
Oh.
That's how I route all of the cables on my DJI quads these days. 'Cause it's
What
just
sort
way
of screws
easier.
are they? Just 1.5 hex. Okay,
I believe so.
that could be a thing. So let's hang that back up.
Way easier, because then you can just disconnect it. You can pull the air unit out without taking the
And
camera
also
off.
we can see if there's any water in here.
Yeah, you could do a whole like decasing job on it.
Probably a good idea.
Then see if you can bring some life back to
Now,
it.
a lot of people said when I posted about this on the socials, a lot of people said rinse it with clean water. Oh my word! Rinse it with clean water and then IPA, isopropyl alcohol.
Yep.
Which is a really good suggestion, but
Ooh.
but we were camping. We were on our holidays, so I didn't actually have any IPA handy.
Go to the pub. Could have got some there.
Could have got some IPA, but it would have been a slightly different type. So what? This pops. This pops up, does it? How do I disconnect these from the board?
You just give it a firm tug in the right direction. It just pops upwards.
That was going to be my next question. Is what's the direction upwards?
Yeah, I recommend a very small flat screwdriver and just give it a.
That one.
Yeah, see? Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I've got quite long fingernails, so I'll just wipe it out with my fingernails. It just pops off.
Okay.
That makes life a lot easier, doesn't it?
So that's the air unit. The air
Full of
air
sea.
unit is full of sand. Okay.
There's a beach going on in there.
Yeah, there was an absolute beach going on in there.
You know, if the camera dries out, that may be salvageable, and the lens may also be okay. And maybe the camera cable might be okay.
So let's pop those up. Where is... Right, let's tidy some tools up. And drop a spanner.
I just want to say I really love the fact that comms things have mute buttons. Mute is a magical thing.
Okay. Right. So underneath the flight controller is the video. No, not the video, because it's DJI. But underneath will be the crossfire, which, you know, I mean, that's covered in heat shrink. That's bound to be fine, right?
Well, the thing is, I'm pretty sure that TBS do a send it back and get it, and they'll fix it for you
Do they?
thing for free. I think so. So you've got nothing to lose in logging a ticket with TBS and putting it in an envelope.
Send it to TBS.
You might, send it to TBS.
It just stopped
it got wet.
working.
No, you said I crushed it in the water. Can you fix it? Just log a ticket.
So
Wayne Ho will go, huh? And probably ask you a million questions and just put it in a jiffy bag. Post it to China and they'll send you another one. Or discount code on another one.
So there's the... Wow, the lighting is awful.
It's not great.
You
More
can
light.
just make it out. There you go. Let's get it out of there. I've had to take my glasses off to do the close-up stuff, and now I can't see what's going on in chat. It's not the rust on his desk that's going on, so it's all the... Yes, the sand. The sand is going to go everywhere. It's just going to be a thing. Okay, the double-sided tape is defeated.
I'm surprised it survived the ocean.
It did really well, actually.
So whatever double-sided tape you're using gets the ocean seal of
Does.
approval.
What's that wrapped around? Oh, it's wrapped around the camera wire. But that's okay, because we want the camera wire forward anyway. Oh, there we go.
See, isn't that easier when you disconnect it?
I had no idea that was a thing. So there we go. That's the flight.
I see a good antenna.
That's the flight controller. The flight controller and the receiver. That looks
Blurry.
a bit crusty. Why can't I zoom? Zoom. The whole reason I set you up is for zooming. No, it doesn't want to zoom. Okay. You just have to have a long distance shot of that. Looks bad. That looks really bad.
I think you should just plug it into a LiPo. I still stand
No!
by that. It'd be fun.
It might be fun for you, but I want to salvage as much as possible.
There's not. You've got the antennas. What more did you want?
I think that's probably all I'm getting, isn't it? That's probably all I'm getting. Right.
Probably reuse some of the cable.
What say you? Redeploy. The only slight problem with this might be that I'm going to plug it into the PC I'm streaming from.
So if it all goes dark, fellas, he's killed
So if
his
I suddenly
PC.
stop streaming, you will know why.
Before you do that, before you plug it in, have you got one of those USB power banks?
Yes.
Use that. Don't use your PC yet.
Shall I cut the wires to this receiver, because I think that's
No.
had it.
I say you leave it on there.
I'm gonna cut the wires off.
5 volts will make a difference. But I do think you should use a power bank rather than your PC, because if there is something seriously wrong with it, you'll smoke the USB hub on your PC, and that's an expensive mistake.
Right, so let's remove that. Where is my trusty knife? And let's take the heat shrink off.
Hello, dog. I just want to say everyone can say hello to you. Sure. This is Rebel.
Introducing new characters to the show.
Yeah, this is Rebel, girlfriend's dog.
Hello, dog. That's not at all random. Don't fish got... This is crusty. This has been living in a pineapple under the sea.
It's a UAV, underwater.
That's
Abstract.
although, do you know what?
I think it's alright.
It's only that one end of it that's nasty.
Give it a rub over with a toothbrush with some IPA. Reflow the solder on the solder end, and I bet you that'll be fine.
We'll try powering it up later. We'll see how long the stream goes for. Right, here we go then. So we've got some IPA. We've got a toothbrush.
Dog. You're
You're
not coming back on the show, I'm afraid, Rebel. You've made your internet debut. You don't have to come back on. The dog is desperate to come on the show.
I've got to say, if you didn't know,
Stop being a dick.
Don't kink shame fish. What? Hey, that looks alright.
if I can get it under the camera, that looks fine. Nothing wrong with that.
I would take.
I'm sending that back to Trappy and complaining.
I would take the antenna off and do the same on the antenna side.
Where's Tuggy? Where's Tuggy?
Hold on, this is you realise this is where the UFL comes off the board. No, it's clear. It's clean. The UFL connector is really clean. I'm going to go ahead and say that's looking pretty hopeful. Right, here is the flight controller. Where did my USB lead go? There's the USB lead.
Don't plug it into your computer.
No, I'm plugging it into one of the sockets here on the workbench has a 5-volt output. So let's plug it into that.
Yeah.
And
we're watching for early days.
Oh!
I can't see any lights. Oh! Hello.
Holy shit!
That's a blinking LED.
Holy shit! Okay, I'm plugging it into the PC.
Do.
I got a USB tone. I kid you not, I got a USB tone. Right, hold on. I need to add. I need to do a capture. How do I do a display capture like that? Okay. Yeah, that one. Right. Are you seeing that, folks?
Yep.
Okay then.
Hit the magic connect button.
Well, it should have auto connected, but serial port successfully opened with ID 1. Hold on, device manager. Ports.
Mangle those devices. Rebel, honestly, mate, give it a rest. Go and find something to play with.
I don't know. Is it getting hot? No, not particularly. So if I unplug it, COM1, COM11, 15, 5, 6 and 7. So is it on 15? No. 11, 15, 5, 6, 7.
There's a lot of advice going on in the chat. You should unplug it and replug it.
I've just done that. Cut everything off the FC. Yeah, I have. Everything is off the flight controller. There's just a dangling wire.
Have you got Cura or anything like that open? You don't use Cura, you're a Prusa
Yes.
man. Prusa is the answer.
Well, it's doing the USB beeps, but it's not actually showing up as a COM port. So, let's...
DFU mode. Hold down the button and see if it comes up.
Well, I'm going to have a look in my downloads folder and see if I've still got, because I downloaded it the other day, Impulse RC driver fixer. So, did that run or did it just ignore me? No, there it goes. Fixing serial port driver. I'll be impressed if you are. No.
It's connected.
No. No way.
No way.
Guys.
The flight controller lives.
No. That's insane.
Is it working? Does it work?
The flight controller is alive.
Wow.
No, it's not in
incredible.
DFU mode. It's alive. Look, it's me. You can't see it because it's out of shot.
You're jiggling it.
Yeah, look, there you see in the bottom of the picture. There's me wiggling the flight controller. That's a thing. That's an actual thing. Wow. Okay. That's impressive. Okay, so we have one flight controller. Add that to the pile of things that work for now. We'll get rid of that USB lead for now. Right.
So now you just need to plug a battery into the ESC and see if you get start-up tones.
Oh, that's
There's no other choice.
that's interesting. Hold on.
The only way to go.
Let's take the camera off the frame. If we can. Ow! Oh, that's really rusty. That doesn't want to play. No. Okay. Right, we're taking the screws out the side of the camera then. So these cameras, do they come apart at all?
You can take the back off it. There's some screws on the front. I think they're on the front. I haven't got one handy, so I can't tell you. But yeah, they're pretty disassemblable.
Where did that screw go? There it is. Is that it? No, that's not even it.
Why have you not got a magnetic tray on your desk?
Because they drive me crazy because they just grab everything all the time. Oh, that's where it went. It got stuck to the motor.
On the magnet.
Good magnets on these unmanned tech motors.
You pick up grip from the ocean and everything.
Absolutely. I can't believe
I-
that.
I-
I can't believe that flight controller booted up. I cannot believe that. Right, so let's get the camera off the front.
Has anyone ever noticed that the Prop Stops round logo looks remarkably similar to my round logo? They stole my logo.
Well, kind of everybody's logo looks the same when you make it small and round. If you put your actual logo side by side, they don't look a thing alike. Right, okay, so what have we got here then? So we've got
2 screws.
oh,
Fingers.
USB wires
Here.
going everywhere. So there's 2 screws on the back, and there's 4 screws on the front. Some of which are full of sand and shite.
Does that look alright? Or is it scratched to hell? We're not going to be able to tell with you holding it.
It's mint. It's
Cool.
absolutely mint. So we've got a usable lens. So what size are these? So they're the same 1.5. Right. Glasses off moment. I'll try and dig some.
I think that the Prop Stop and I need to have a ribbon cutting quad action fight and see who can cut the more ribbon off.
So there is a blob of hot melt glue in the screw head. Is this a warranty thing?
Yeah.
Or do starfish have glue guns?
I'm not sure if it's the screws at the front or the back you want. I think it's the ones at the back.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Right, let's go.
And they're way more accessible without having to mess around with
Yeah,
hot
that's
glue.
very weird. That looks like they've warranty sealed it with some hot melt. The sticker hasn't peeled off. That's survived.
That's
Which is
good.
quite impressive.
Will Seb go in the front or the back first?
Oh
Wow.
my word!
What? Is it alive?
Hold on.
Or is it full of ocean? That looks pristine.
That's clean. that is as clean as a clean thing. There's not a grain of sand in it.
I bet that still works.
Okay, right. I'm gonna before it gets a grain of sand in it, because there is now sand fricking everywhere. I'm gonna seal that back up.
Once I get around to fixing my quad, I will certainly be up for that as well. The prop stop.
What madness are you arranging?
Chaos.
Chaos is good. All things descend to chaos. Right, let's put... Okay, so our hopes are high for the camera. Surprisingly.
Gotta have high hopes for the camera. I promise I won't sing again on this particular stream.
Right, let's hang some tools up. You gotta keep things tidy. Hang your tools up. There you go. See
my girlfriend is trying to encourage me to sing some more.
my 3D printable tool hanger. I advise you to all download one and print it, because it's very, very handy. I haven't even turned the soldering iron on yet. Right, glasses on so I can see the chat. Winter blue. I'm just kidding. They're assembly probably actually founded in 1860, so you stole us. Finley, see you, dude. I think he's off to do his homework. Prop stop, back door always. Smash the back door in. It's the only way to go. So far, the only confirmed death is what? The lipo.
Yeah. And I think you need to apply power to the ESC to find out whether that's dead.
This is interesting.
It's the only way to know.
This is interesting. What happened to my capacitor?
It ran out of flux.
No, where's its leg?
Melted,
Its leg's gone.
corroded away.
Did the leg what act as a fuse, or?
It could have done.
That's insane.
I reckon it corroded away in the salt water. It just bubbled away.
Bubble.
Is it the positive or the negative leg?
It is the positive leg.
There you go then.
So I'm gonna get the snips.
So I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I really
Just
don't.
remove the one-legged cap.
RC Maniac in the chat. How do we test a capacitor? I know you know how. Please write detailed instructions so we can plug it into Cerb's multimeter after we plug the battery into his yes.
Right, so I'm gonna actually get rid of my keyboard for a minute, because what am I doing with the keyboard? I don't need a keyboard. So we have the smoke stopper. This is actually the Jim Gibney smoke stopper. Thank you, Jim. Jim made me this. Right, so plug the smoke.
That's not the dead lipo, is it?
No. But this is a nice new fresh lipo. So there's the. I can't do too much damage to the motors, can I? They're seized anyway. It's not like they're going to suddenly spin up.
Well, they might go boo boo boo.
Yeah. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm genuinely scared. Okay, here we go.
Go direct to short.
Yeah, so that's magic then, isn't it?
All that fine soldering, all gone.
Well, let's do some investigations then. Fire up the soldering iron, and let's get some stuff desoldered.
And I'm afraid I'm going to have to duck out because I've got a text from work that I need to deal with.
You've got a server to fix.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Right then. Well, I'll keep you in my ear if you want to keep the call up, and then if you want to come back, we can bring you back in a bit.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
I'm going to turn the camera and mute myself though.
Yes, good plan. But right, it's just us. Looks like it's providing. Can't read that. So you test any component. Your capacitance range on your multimeter. Yeah, I don't think I have. It's probing time. Definitely probing time. I haven't given the motors the sniff test actually. That one smells like salt. That one smells like regret. That one smells like a Chinese meal in Soho. And that one smells like plastic, but not burnt plastic. Don't know. Alright, we're up to temperature on the soldering iron, so let's solder it, which means glass is off. And I'm going to add a little bit of fresh solder just as a thermal bridge to get things going. Move some chisel around. Right, let's have the power leads off first. Very weird about that capacitor. There is no trace of that capacitor's leg. It is gone. Oh no, oh no. I thought I was about to say I'm lying, but no, because that was on the negative pad, so no. There is no trace of the positive leg on this solder, which looks really crusty and horrible. The first one melted quite well. This one doesn't want to. Shall I get my head out of the shot? Would that be a good idea? Come on, flow. Why won't you flow? He really doesn't want to know. Okay, let's get a big old blob of solder going. Do you think I should put some flux on it? Oh no, there we go, it flowed. Okay, so that's off. And you know what? The pads look lovely now. They've been reflowed. Right, let's start taking motor wires off then. Right, scream at me in chat if I keep sticking my head in the camera view, okay? So let's get one of these off. Oh, I'm looking at interesting things on this board. What's just gone ping? Oh, it's gone ping, I don't know what it was. These don't want to reflow. Do you know what? Ain't nobody got time for this. Ain't nobody got time for this. Turns out my quad doing random rolls is the left side of your 4-in-1. I'm not absolutely surprised by that, if I'm honest. I'm assuming the black box told all with that one. So let's just get in here with the side snips, because this ESC is not for saving. And we'll get this flight controller off. So things we definitely know are dead: the LiPo and the ESC. I guess I'm not that surprised that the ESC is dead. Oh, holy crap. Yeah, not good, not good. You'll like this. Not a lot. I don't know why, but I want to get this sticky pad off as well. So the frame is good. We can call the frame good, I think. I think that's allowed. It's a little bit rusty, but that's only its nuts. And we can always replace its nuts. We have the technology. Yeah, the standoff didn't make it. Okay, but here is the main event. Yeah, that doesn't look too special, does it? That does. What are you doing? Why is your white balance suddenly gone crazy? Okay, right, let's do a little zoom if we can. There we go. Yeah, that don't look too clever. That doesn't look too clever at all. Oh, we've got a dead Skype thing. Go away, dead Skype thing. Okay, but That's not the best bit. You ready? Still not the best bit. That's the best bit. Look at that. Look at the absolute state of that. This is all raised, this piece here. You can see the angle that this component's at. So this whole section here is raised up. These look bad, and this one looks. I did not do that whilst I was trying to desolder the motors, I promise. That's so gnarly. That is so gnarly. So RC Maniac, I don't know how much probing it needs. It looks like it's been pretty probed. So then we can scratch all this paint off actually. There you go. There's the I guess that's a bus, is it? A power bus. Hold on. Oops. Yeah, that's a bit ruined. I think that's actually the remains of the fat. Well, there's your problem. Yeah, that's done, isn't it? So Ultimate says, my guess with the capacitor is it broke in the crash. Yeah, possibly. We don't extend to pass or electrolysis to the thing. Yes, electroplating might be more. Yeah, I think I know where the short is. Just need to clean. No. that's ruined. It's absolutely ruined. Okay, so the dead list so far is 1 lipo, dead. 1 electronic speed controller 4-in-1, dead. So we chuck that over there. Weirdly, very weirdly, the flight controller has survived, so that's impressive. Because I don't have the ESC anymore, I can't actually spin up. I can't easily spin up a motor, can I? FET just needs super glue. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Still need to test the receiver. Yes, I do. I'm thinking input for this is 5 volts, isn't it? So what if I just get myself a USB lead and get 5 volts out of that or something? Or I could get some voltage off of a balance lead, couldn't I? Or see if I've got a 1S pack somewhere. Oh, we'll find. I don't have a bench supply in a minute. We'll find a source of voltage and we'll stick 5 volts up its bum and see what it says. Right, so let's start having a look at the motors then. So it's not looking too pleasant in there. No. I think if I'd have maybe been able to throw some WD-40 through them or some IPA. Hi Ruben, how you doing? Welcome to the carnage. If I'd have been able to displace the water, I was able to wash the salt out with fresh water, but I wasn't able to then. That's the wrong side screwdriver. Solder it back. Yeah, but what if the RX is bad and it smokes the flight controller? That would be a real shame. It would be a real shame to smoke the flight controller now. Okay, so that's the motor out of the bottom of the that's the bolt out of the bottom of the motor. Let's see if I can pull its bell off. Oh, yes, I can. Oh my god, it is absolutely full of black. That's a technical term. Yeah, that's nasty. Look at that. That is really, really quite horrible. That is really quite horrible. What happened to the quad then? Did it fail safe? What? What do you mean? He hasn't seen, has he? Have you not seen? So, someone's pinging me. Why is someone pinging me? Hold on. RC Maniac. Don't kink shame fish. What the actual hell? I just dropped it on. Hi, Greg. That's a lot. Yes, that. Prop Sop says watching Serb pull a bell off isn't how I thought I'd spend your night. Well, you know, it's a thing. It happened. Props. We can claim good props. Nothing wrong with that prop. Flown worse than that. That bell, however, has seen better days. How the hell do you get a load of magnetic sand out of your bell? Anybody that's ever been on a nudist beach should be able to answer that one. What do you think, kids? Shall we play failsafe the video so he knows what happened, or should we just tell him? To be honest, I'm not sure I can watch it again. It's so harrowing. Are you ready? How do I replay it? Here we go. There you go, failsafe, just for you. And say I never do anything for you. Here it comes. Are you prepared? Because I wasn't. And splash. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. And it then spent 6 hours under 6 feet of seawater, wedged under a boulder. We waited for the tide to go out, went back, clambered across all the boulders and found it stuck underneath a boulder. So yeah, that's not black and charred. It doesn't actually smell that great, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but is that because it's rank seawater?
It smells a little burny, if I'm honest. A little burny. RC Maniac, I have a challenge for you. Being our resident electronics guru, how did I get it? I braved it. I went back up the beach. That was high tide when it went in. That's why the water was at the top of the wall. That 6 foot high, that kind of concrete path you could see at the base of the wall. That was so the wall comes the wall comes down, and then there's like a little path, and then it goes straight down. So the top bit, that kind of path you can see, that was about 6 foot high when I went back to it. So you can see, yeah, at the bottom of the slope there's that wall. You can see the green patches on it. They were very slippery, and the water level there is at the top. That was That was 6 foot deep. I know that because when I went back when the tide was out, I stood at the bottom of the wall and the wall was like 6 inches taller than me, kind of thing. So it's give or take. I'm 5'10", so yeah. Failsafe. Apparently, the rubber prop says the rubber inside a tennis ball is good at getting magnetic sound off magnets. Interesting. Failsafe says I have spare stators for that exact motor. I can't use if you want them. They're pretty much new. If you've got 4 of them and you're willing to part with them, yes please. That would be really lovely. Thank you. Yes please. I will at some point try and clean these up. I'm not going to do it on cam tonight because that would just be a little bit tedious, I think. So that's going to take a fair amount of cleaning, isn't it? A fair amount of cleaning. Those coils look fine. Rinse off in clean water with IPA and some 3-in-1 oil for the bearings. Good point. Bearings. Haven't actually investigated whether the bearings spin. The bearings don't have any visible signs of rust on them. That's quite impressive. Let's get something we can spin a bearing with. So I'm going to put a pair of pliers in. Oh, that's quite crunchy. Well, it was initially crunchy and then it kind of got better. I reckon if you flush them through with WD and then put some nice 3-in-1 oil down in them, you might coax those back to life. Right, so RC Maniac, can you design for us a motor tester? I've thought this before and the thought comes back to me. I want something that's just got like 3 quick connectors on it, so you can just like go like spring clamps or something, boop boop boop, connect your motors, and then it have like you plug a LiPo into it and it have a little dial that you turn that will spin up a motor, so that when you think you've smoked a motor, you don't have to mess around with flight controllers and ESCs and stuff. You can just desolder the motor, connect it to your motor tester and turn your little dial and it spin the motor up. Can you make us one of those? He says I have 4. Are they the 1800 kV? No, I'm 4S, so they're 2400. So I think 1800 kV on 4S will probably be a little bit bonkers. So that I don't think that's going to work, mate. Don't think that's going to work. But you know what? If I have to buy 4 new motors, that's not the worst thing. But I reckon they're going to come back. So we'll take the motors off. Shall we? Do I want to split the bells? Don't know. Don't think I do, because having them on the arms is really good leverage to take them apart. So I think what I will do is we'll split all the bells, we'll take all the props off, so we'll get the stators and the bells all separated. Are they keyed together in any way, shape or form? I guess I should probably keep the stators and the bells in order, shouldn't I? I might add some little zip ties just to keep them together. Right, oh that was silly. Let's keep the bolt, we'll put that in the bottom of the bell so we know where the bolt goes. Zip ties, don't have any zip ties, I've run out of zip ties. Okay, zip ties. Oh, just throwing them on the floor. Right, so we'll get a zip tie and we'll go through there, through the bell. There we go. So if it is important that bells stay with each other, bells stay with stators, and we've got that covered. So this is the next one to pull. That one came off a lot more easily than the other one. The bells should be more or less the same between KVs. It's the windings. Yeah, it's only the windings that would change, wouldn't it? Yeah, all the magnets. If that spacer came off the motor, make sure you keep it. What spacer? Prop stop. No, there wasn't a spacer, there was just a screw. And there wasn't a washer under it, which I was a bit shocked by, to be honest. Who's got me spanner? Blakey! Good evening, dude. How you doing? Send everything flying. I did, yes. The solder and the... But my beverage didn't go flying, so that's good news, right? Let's put the prop nut back on that one. And back on this one. Blakey, you've been paid. It's time to sign up for the race, dude. And anyone else that isn't signed up for our race, get signed up. We are 4 pilots away from it being a BQE. So if you want to see me really stressed, and get 4 pilots signed up so that we can actually do a BQE. And I can panic about having to be scrutinised by the governing body. No, that's not really a thing. Prop stop is seeing things. Yeah, there wasn't a spacer. I tell you what, when I take the next bell off, I will double check that there isn't, because I was kind of shocked. You would think you can add prop nuts to the list of things. Yes, prop nuts. Prop nuts definitely survived. You would think there would at least be that is gunky, isn't it? That's really nasty. You'd think there would at least be a washer under this nut, but there isn't. It was literally just like that. So yeah, that's a little surprising. Right, what am I doing? I am taking the stator off the arm. Putting my pliers back. Tidy workplace is essential because I'm old and forgetful. And if I don't keep my workplace tidy, I will spend an hour looking for the 10mm spanner, because that's just how life works. I guess we kind of don't need the smoke stopper at the moment either, do we? Cheers, everybody. Prop Stop says, BT are taking my sign-up money to pay for a year's worth of internet I'm not getting. Well, you're signed up already, so you'll just have to sell your body or something. But you've got until the 1st of August and you can pay me on the day, dude. I know you're good for it. In fact, you can pay me your next payday after the event if you want to. I know that you're good for it, so you can have credit. Right, so let's do the same thing with that. Put the zip tie. Should we? Oh, those bearings. The bearings. Do you know what? Bearings are okay. These motors are going to survive. These motors will fly again. I'm telling you. So that's 2 motors disassembled. Let's get this one apart. Right, so we said we were going to pay special attention this time. So prop stop only fans. It's the only way you can afford to eat. All right. Here we go. Let's see what we get. Oh, that does not want to come undone. Of course it wouldn't. Why would it? So we're just getting a screw, which is wildly out of focus. Just getting a screw and some detritus. Be fine after the 29th, just getting runts getting out of utility contracts. Yeah, they do that. So let's have a look down in here. No washer, no spacer. Okay. I am surprised by that. Somebody RC Maniac says, check in the hole. Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can get the bell off without punting everything across the workbench this time. There we go. No spacer. Somebody get Cameron on the phone and ask him why it's designed like that. I guess the tolerances are so good they don't need a washer. That must be the answer, right? How are you doing over there, much beloved?
I'm okay, thank you, baby. How are you doing?
I'm very well. I am frankly amazed that the flight controller powered up. Now, does anybody know how to further strip down an air unit? Because the air unit is absolutely chock full of sand. I mean, that's probably a bad sign, isn't it? If it's full of sand, then it was full of water. Unless when that ESC expired violently, maybe that went so quickly that everything just shut down. Well, no, because the flight controller still worked, didn't it? So that would be, where's the regulator? What's supplying the 5 volts? It's the ESC, isn't it? So the LiPo plugs into the ESC. The ESC has the 5 volt regulator on it and provides the 5 volts to the flight controller. So if that died violently and quickly, maybe that's why the flight controller still works, because the flight controller lost power immediately-ish. Let's take the prop off. So if the flight controller lost power, brute force and ignorance. I mean, that will work. Is it? So the wire that goes between the flight controller and the ESC, has that got VBAT on it, or has that got 5 volts on it? ESC sends VBAT to the flight controller. Ah. See, that ruins my theory. That wasn't the news we wanted. What flight control on ESC was it? Mamba 405, I think. Hold on. Yeah. There's nothing looking particularly burnt about that. Oh, hold on, here's the... Oh, I may have spoken too soon. Look at... So that's the pads, isn't it? So it was plugged in with the connector, which is that one. These are the solder pads if you're going to solder it. The ground 5 volt, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the signals to the motors, and then the VBAT pad. Yeah, that doesn't look very well, does it? That one there. That actually looks a little bit screw-head. And also one looks a bit screw-head as well. So that'll be interesting. Perhaps we'll end up with one dead motor. RC Maniac says no sign of a 5 volt regulator on that flight controller. Well, that would be good news. That would be really good news. if there's no 5-volt regulator on it, then this ties in with my crazy theory that the ESC went bang, stopped providing 5 volts to the flight controller, and that's why the flight controller's alive, because it was powered off when it went in the water, which would also mean that the air unit's alive, because that gets its 5 volts from the flight controller. So if the flight controller powered off, which seems to be, you know, possible because it's alive, Gordon's alive, then oh, why am I doing that? I'm getting overexcited and undoing the motorbolts, and I don't want to do that yet. Yeah, there's a possibility the air units survived, and they're 180 quid a pop, so that would be really nice. That would be really cool if the casualties were limited to if the casualties were limited to a LiPo and an electronic speed controller. I'd be quite happy. Can you make out the sand, by the way? There's an awful lot of sand going on. Right, I'm reliably informed that Mr. Winter Blue wants to come back and comment, so let's see if we can get this apart. Yeah, that's pretty minging. That's pretty minging. So I'm placing a call to Mr. Winter Blue. Unless that ready was from earlier. Was that ready from earlier? Yeah, I think it was. What's my notification for then? Oh, would you like to come together? Skype, that's an inappropriate question. Was it an email? What's going on? Oh. Such a poor-minded bunch. We are. Oh, drop me spanner. Can I show a close-up of both sides of the flight controller again, or send me close-up pics on Discord? Give me 2 secs, and I shall make that happen in one way or another. We're going to find out. We're going to get you. Yeah, whatever. Right, let's pop this screw back in. I wonder if I can add some extra light. Yeah, I might be able to. Boom. Right, so zip tie. Let's take the stator off the arm. PropStop says, definitely look that the 5 volt is on the ESC from the pads. Just had a battery voltage pad without ground for voltage sensing. Yeah. I mean, the theory works, doesn't it? You know, the theory adds up. So we've got 4 motors ready for cleaning. So we'll just have to fashion some sort of parts washer and figure out how we get all the crap out of that. I'm not quite sure how we do that, to be fair, but we'll give it a red hot crack. Someone's posting me YouTube pimping links for a show in 6 minutes. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. This is where the action's at. Right, so 1 bare frame, some replacement nuts and bolts in that, and we'll be off and running. Failsafe, you're the first person to have missed quadratic, which I thought was a, you know, maybe that was a sign that we should just like give it up, but I don't know. Once I start my new job this week, tomorrow in fact, great, that's just stressed me out. Yeah, so once I get the new job kind of started and I'm a bit more settled with that, and I think life will feel a bit more normal again. And then if you guys want it back, then let's bring it back. But I have to say that viewer numbers were actually kind of dropping off, so I don't know if we perhaps need to do some stuff a little bit differently. We actually do have some stuff pre-filmed for Quadratic. We have some stuff in the can, I believe is the saying. Don't want my new videos no near as good as any. I just thought you were busy. Yeah, Clive, you're right. Real life has kind of intervened a little bit lately. But yeah, no, if you guys are up for it, I'm still up for it, I think.
You've had some really interesting guests.
We have had some good guests. I was considering putting a call in to his name's just flown out of my head. That's really crazy.
Is there any guests they'd like to see?
I don't know. Chat, who would you like to see as a guest? You let me know and I'll see if I can get them. I was going to get Andy RC. That was it. I was going to give Andy RC a shout, see if he fancied coming on.
Is he the bloke with the hair?
He's the bloke with the hair, yes. Andy, if you're watching, you are officially the bloke with hair, with the hair. So you've impressed my wife with your hair. Failsafe, thank you very much. I desperately needed to get out of the place I was at. It wasn't doing me the world of good, if I'm honest. It was causing some issues with my poor little head. So to be out of there is, yeah, probably a really good thing. No probably about it. Failsafe says he'll be a guest. Yeah, go on then, mate. You can come on. Okay, let's add that. Let's add that to the survived pile. Am I allowed to do that? Can I claim a frame as having survived? I think I'm going to. That's what's going to happen. So, Lexi, yes. JB, I don't think he'd come on, if I'm honest. Bot Grinder, I don't know. He might be quite interesting, but also quite chaotic.
You like chaos?
Look at all this sand. Right, okay then. So, RC Maniac. RC Maniac, are you ready? This is for you, dude. I'm going to throw some extra light on it with my phone. Okay, can you see that? Okay, that's the underside. What's that thing over there by the S-bus port on the left? Is that a regulator? Let's flip it over. Throw a little extra light on it. Yeah, bot grinder would be good on Quadratic after dark, I think. There we go. RC Maniac, are you getting that? Is that what you needed? Okay. I think what we need to do is just have a quick clear the decks. Let's turn the soldering iron off for now. Where is it? There it is. See, I was a Boy Scout. Always be prepared. I had my little dustpan and brush ready to sweep up. Oh, I didn't put that back in the motor. Let's put that back in the motor. Now I've got to find which one it is. It's that one. Put the screw back in. Always be prepared to deal with your little pile of sand. Actually, that's not so little. That's a fairly significant pile of sand. Dear me. Now what I didn't prepare was anywhere to empty my little dustpan into. So it's just going to have to sit over there for now. Pop that out of the way. Right, let's have a look in the chat. Yeah, don't see anything that would suggest a 5-volt regulator on the flight controller, but there is a 3.3 volt regulator, which we don't need. We don't care about that, do we? 3.3 volts. Who needs 3.3 volts? We don't need 3.3 volts where we're going. So now for the bit that would be really handy if it wasn't dead. The air unit. The antenna has unplugged, and do you know what? Actually looks okay. Bit of surface grime, but the pin is intact. Not that that was focused and you can see. Let's see if we get away with this one. Yep, that's fine. So there's a little bit of hot snot. So between the antennas, you can see those antennas look fine. That connector doesn't actually look that badly corroded. So do you think underneath that bit of hot snot there's a screw? Oh, and there's a screw here on the top at the front. Oh, if I can find it with my camera. Yeah. What do you reckon, boys? Are we going in? I think we might be going in. There's no 5-volt reg on flight controller. You could test receiver by plugging into USB and the air unit. Yes. I can't see what that is. I feel like it's hot snot. Yeah, it is. It's a bolt. It's a 1.5mm Allen head, and they've filled the head with hot snot. So I'm going to call that warranty snot. But I think I pretty much voided the warranty when I crashed it into the sea. So probably worth popping the AU open before applying power. Yes, I'm going to agree with you on that one. Judging by the amount of sand I can see in it when I took the camera connector apart. Wow, that is the world's tiniest screw. Let's go back to a decent view, shall we? Yeah, there's a lot of sand in the camera connector compartment. See, I'm not hopeful with this because there are plenty of ways for the water to have gotten inside it. You know, through the SD card slot. Oh, yeah. I think this is probably going to be a tale of woe. It's not looking great, is it? That is looking sandy. Okay, the connectors for the antenna seem to be staying with the lid. Is that for cooling, do you think? What have we got? Oh, we got, it's like a ribbon cable. Looks like a ribbon cable connects the top to the bottom. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see that, probably not. No. Yeah, there you go. In the bottom right corner of it, you see that large silver pad. It's not a pad, that's a connector. like one of those little connectors you find inside your iPhone when you're doing stuff with that. So let's see if we can't. Let's see if we can't pop that open. See if we can't pop that apart. There's a tiny little screw. There's two tiny little screws which are very rusty in the front. And they are tiny, tiny, tiny little Phillips heads. Oh, they'll be fun. There's also a fair chunk of sand in here. Right, I don't really want to undo this connector because they're a swine to get apart and back together. But there we go. Came straight apart. Okay. Probably worth pop. Oh, right, okay. So there's the top board. Yeah, that's pretty nasty, isn't it? But you know, let's not give up yet. Finley's back. Welcome back, Finley. No, Finley, that was if you just saw that view, that's the inside of the air unit, and it's not looking happy. And I'm going to suggest that I clean it up before I even dream about applying power to it. I need a really, really small Phillips screwdriver. I'm not entirely convinced. Let's give this one a try. Yes, the air unit is full of sand, and it has been full of water as well. That's pretty obvious. So I don't know. It looks like there's a little metal bar here that holds the connector down. Yep. So I want you to remember for me that the bumpy bit goes towards the DJI sticker. So bumpy bit towards DJI sticker. If you remember that for me, chat. Right, so I can disconnect. I can disconnect this. Right. So there's the bump on the thing I was talking about, and it's on the DJI sticker side of the board. And then this bit attached to the lid, the connector says RF to this side, and it says BB to this side. So that's worth remembering, right? Are you making notes of that? Because I'll forget. Not much sort of corrosion though. Get the sand out, get a rinse, an IPA should be good. Yeah, it might. Let's disconnect this connector. Oh, okay. So that little ribbon connector is disconnected. Yep. There's that thermal paste you were talking about. Bumpy bits to DJI sticker. Thank you. And Clive. Right. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh and thrice.
Yeah, thrice ooh. All of the oohs. I am tempted to fire up the RX. I mean, that would be a fairly quick job, wouldn't it? Shall we do that? I know we're jumping around from pillar to post, but I mean that could be a nice little victory. I'm just thinking. So I'm also kind of putting off the DJI thing because I just got a bit scared. So real quick, we're going to power up the crossfire receiver, because why not? Then we'll jump back into the flight controller once I've had a little moment just to consider the lily. Right, what's the voltage input to the DJI sticker? What's the input voltage range of a crossfire receiver? .83 volts. You can see how, so if you see the sound, you definitely can now. Yeah, you definitely can now. That unit was absolutely a sound magnet. Right, so if I plug the antenna in so that we don't kill it, and we'll strip the wires back, they look okay. Let me get my polarity the right way around on this now. So that end of the bounce lead is positive, the next one along is the first cell. Yeah, 3.83 volts. So if I poke that wire in there, poke, let's get this LiPo sitting right around. So go negative to cell 1. Oh, if I could hold it still, it would really help. This may be a bad idea. Cell 1 and then positive. That powered on. Did you see the LED? That powered on. I need my controller. Hold on. Right, so just soldered the RX back onto the FC. Oh, well, you know what? It powered up, didn't it? It powered up. The smoke didn't come out. Yeah, go on then. All right. Feeling brave now. That definitely lit up. Let's turn that off. Right, where's my strap? It works! It does work. I'm pretty happy that that's not going to cook the flight controller. If Winter Blue comes back, just tell him we plugged it into a LiPo. Right, where's the FC? There it is. Throw an antenna up myself. Right, screwdriver up there, tweezers. So I'm going to have to clean up the pads because I just snipped it off earlier. Get some helping hands on the job. This is probably really boring in terms of the camera angles and stuff at the minute, guys. I'm sorry. It's not the best. So let's get these pads cleaned up. So the white one was on the left, so RX was white. Got a power, got a ground. What's that? That's the buzzer pad, we don't care about that. Right, put a little bit of crystals on them. And we will clean those up. The white wire was on the left, so pop up a little bit of solder on these. Lovely. Ground lead. Lovely. Power lead. All good. I'm going to want those just a touch shorter. I don't like soldering on YouTube. I feel like it's just asking for trouble. No, you didn't use the correct velocity of power to the flux capacitor banana holder. Oh god. Right. So RX is on. TX is on. 5 volts. So are we assuming then if I plug this into USB, it's going to get its 5 volts from there? Oh, that grab wasn't the neatest soldering job ever. Yeah, FC has 4.5 volt power, so it should power the RX from USB power. Good. That's what we want to hear. So that's soldered back up. Let's get the soldering out of the way. Let's not leave that in the helping hands because I'm never quite sure how insulated they are. Right. Hold on. Put the air unit parts back over there. Tiny little air unit screws. They are absolutely miniature. Feels a little bit like working on a mobile phone, which if you've ever done that you'll know is a bit like close-up magic. So let's get rid of some sand. Went on holiday, brought some sand back with us. How romantic. Is that a Tyro flight controller? No, that is a is it? No, I don't think it is. I think it's a man before. No, oh no, 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 no. Give that man a prize. The man before 05 that I had spare went into one of the race quads when I had a flight controller issue. And this is the flight stack that I cobbled, nobbled, stole from a Tyro 99. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's a Tyro 99 flight controller. That's impressive. Right. That's there, that's there. Let's power on our transmitter.
Hello, and again, welcome to the
I'm just going to plug into the 5 volt adapter. I'm not going to plug it into the USB port. No, I am going to plug it into the USB port. I'm going to be super brave. And there we go. Right. Cross your fingers, everybody. That did not power up. Ah!
But no magic smoke came out.
That did not power up at all. I'm going to take the earth connector off the... No, I'm not. What am I doing? Why didn't that power up? Oh, it did. It was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about it. Right. Did we get any lights on the RX? I don't think we did. Receiver. No. Where is my prize? Was my teammates going to be too tired to build one? Right, okay, let's find out then if we've got 5 volts anywhere on this board. Because I'm guessing if the 5 volts was coming from the ESC, then we might not necessarily have 5 volts plugged into USB. No, I don't have 5 volts at those connections. So what else have we got on the board? There's a 5 volt and a ground pad there. Nothing on them. There's a 4.5 volt pad, and that has 3.97 volts on it. Okay, what if then? What if we wire the power? What if we wire the power to that 4.5 volt pad? Clive says try another pad. Yeah, I reckon, dude. I reckon that's what we'll do. I don't know what the minimum voltage I don't know what the minimum voltage this RF receiver runs on. I think you might be on a 5 volt pad, not a 4.5 volt pad. Yeah, I was. So let's tin this pad up because it looks really manky. Yeah, so I've found a 4.5 volt pad and it's got a ground right next to it, which is kind of handy. So let's get in there. Oh, that wire desperately wants to get itself in the way and get melted. Okay, ground is on. .5 volts is on. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Place your bets. Should work on 3.5 volts as you get crossfire whoops. That is a good point, well made. Get 4.5 volts from the pad next to the S-Plus pad. Yes, that's the one I found. Right. USB into the board. USB into the PC. Thinking about it. Oh, hello. I got tones. I also got, see the green light? The green light is on, guys. The green light is on. I've got telemetry on the radio. Receiver. Yes. Guys, that works. Wow. Okay.
Receiver is still connected.
It is still connected and it's still working. Well, I never. You could knock me down with a feather. That is pretty impressive. So, flight controller survived, and the Crossfire receiver survive.
Wow.
So that's good. That's good.
Think all the money you've just saved?
I have just saved, yes. What's the Crossfire receiver nowadays? 30 quid? 30 GBP, I think.
I meant all told, got all the stuff. Working.
Well, the biggie is going to be this air unit, which I've been putting off.
Do it.
If using the connector, if not using the connector, then you don't. Oh yes, yeah. If you're using the little 3-pin header thing. Oh, for some reason, the space in my drawer that my multimeter fits in suddenly doesn't fit a multimeter. I don't know what happened there. The air unit to clean up, reassemble and test. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. So guys, are you okay to sit tight there for a moment while I run and get some kitchen towel and some other bits and bobs? Right. Hold that thought, guys. I will be back in 2 moments. Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me? So, I mean that's looking pretty hopeful, right? My theory then that I shouldn't have done that. My theory then that the ESC exploded almost instantly. Possibly before it even went into the sea. I mean, because I lost the picture straight away. I just poured that sand all over my toolbox and the drawer was open, so it all went inside. Oh, genius. Well done, Cerbie, you're an idiot. So yeah, so ESC exploded, which we all saw. That was gubbed. I hope so. Cleaned all the sand, especially the magnetic sand, off his desk before putting his earphones down. No. Oh well. Oh well. Why is black sand magnetic? Why is that a thing? That's a little bit bonkers if you ask me. What time is it, by the way? Because I don't want to keep you guys here all night. I need a drink. So, pack it up, pack it in. Let us begin. Yeah, so this is fairly dull. This is me using a toothbrush to remove sand from an air unit. Oh, that looks a bit... There is definitely corrosion going on there. Let's give you a close-up of that. Come on. Come on, little NDI camera, you can do it. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't look super special, does it? That looks like that might be a little bit done. But we shall crack on with hope in our hearts and Jack Daniels in our glasses. And we shall hope. Oh dearie me. The SD card slot is not happy. That is really not happy. Do you remember me saying at the top of the show that this air unit didn't like recording to SD? Well, it's definitely not going to like recording to SD now. Iron oxide, specifically Fe3O4 or magnetite. Oh. Well, it's crapnetite is what I say. It needs to go away. Bumpy bits DJI sticker. People are spamming me with that now. Right, okay, so we'll make that our sandy one and we'll make this our soggy one. How's that for a deal? Let's get some IPA on the job. That looks good as new, apart from all the rust on the SD card slot. Let's be honest, I'm never getting into that SD card slot to sort that, am I? So oh well. Right, there we go. So that's cleaned up. That's not bad, eh? What's these connectors like? I mean, they look pretty good. They look pretty good, guys. So let's put that over there. Let's bring back the sandy one. How do we get this? Oh my lord. How do we get this out of the case then? Is it just that one screw down there? Why is the ocean full of iron oxide? Probably some crap mankind did. Because we're good at stuff like that. So I can see two screws, so they're coming out. I hope they're coming out. They are very rusty. That's so tiny. That's what she said. You guys still out there in chat? Are you clinging to the wreckage? I haven't actually chat. I could be on a YouTube stream all on my own. No, there are people watching. Thank you for watching along, guys. This has actually been quite entertaining for me.
Moral support.
Yeah, moral support, much needed. Right, so those two screws are out. What am I not seeing? What am I not seeing, guys? Why doesn't that come out? I think it's glued in, maybe? That would be a pain in the balls. That would be a huge pain in the balls if it's stuck down. Well, I can get to this side of it. Oh, I don't want to push too hard on it. Oh yeah, it's held down with heatsink paste. They really do have. They do have thermal fear, don't they? Yeah. Ooh. Wowzers in trousers, guys. That's nasty. That is nasty. Let's see if we can't get the worst of it off before we go in with the isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, that's grim. That is grim. So I wonder if anyone's actually ever tried to waterproof one of these. You would definitely have to lose the SD card slot. But all the thermal paste. They have put lashings and lashings of thermal paste on it. Wowzers. It's absolutely full of sand. Now, if there's sand and crap underneath this heat shield, then the only way to find out will be to desolder it. And I'm not sure I'm feeling that, to be honest. So, I think we'll call that a day for the sandy part. And we'll move on to the IPA part. Got any cleaner toothbrushes on that?
You've got bamboo toothbrushes.
Yes, I do.
You just don't know where they are.
Where they are is a different matter altogether. Aha. Clean the toothbrush. Toothbrushes are very handy. Put toothbrushes in your toolkit, boys and girls. Right. Oh, do you know what? The white oxidization that had built up on the heatsink and the USB connector, that all pretty much went away when I cleaned it with IPA, so that's nice. So I guess the question is, do I dare fire this up out of the case with no heat sinks? Just connect the camera, connect the boards back to each other, and just fire it up real quick to see if we get a picture, and then turn it off even quicker before it overheats. I've got thermal paste in my connector now. There we go. That's a whole piece of RF, the RF shield that's come off. Right. Ah, the desk is covered in sand. Oh. I just put my glasses back on and have a look at chat. What are you guys saying out there? The price of winning a potato are going to be air unit sound. Clean everything off and use fresh thermal paste. Yes, I do have some thermal paste. Where it is another question. So what's the voltage range for a DJI Air unit? So the camera connector actually looks That's pretty clean. I'm not going to fuss with that. I'm not going to fuss with it. If it doesn't need cleaning, I'm not going to force myself upon it, as it were. So, where's the ribbon cable gone? Where's the ribbon cable gone? There it is. It's here. I've already got it. Let's get some of the sand out of that, shall we? Beautiful. Right, who was paying attention earlier? This is the bit that was in the bottom. So, the ribbon cable says on it RF and BB. So which bit went where? Who was paying attention?
You, hopefully.
Guys, do you remember which way it went?
You really don't.
Because I really don't. Oh damn. So it will go, it can go either way round. That's a nightmare. Oh no, it can't. No, it can't, because if I put it that way, if I put the RF connector to there and then put this back over on top, yeah, see that connector's, well, that's not going to line up, is it? So if I put the BB connector there, then that's going to line up when I fold it back over. That makes sense, right? I think that makes sense. Google says 7.4 to 17.6 volts for a DJI Air unit. That's 4S maximum then, isn't it? So are we saying I can just plug a LiPo onto its power connections? Yeah, maybe okay. There's no sand in that connector, and there's no sand in that connector. There's a bit of thermal paste in it, that's gone now. Right, okay. So, click.
Beep.
That is back on. I should do that thermal paste, shouldn't I? Now, getting thermal paste in all the things. My lord, they've gone for it with the thermal paste. So, I put that connector back on there. No, I think this is sketch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all the sand out of the case, and we are actually going to recase it. What we'll have to do is, off camera, I will come back in with new thermal paste and redo all that. There is an amount of thermal paste left in it, so that's got to be better than nothing, right? So which way round did this go? That went in That went in there thusly. Still got sand on it. Right, clear the decks a bit. So, don't turn it on for long out of its case. Yeah, that's what. That was kind of one of my thoughts. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to put it back into its case for now. But yeah, I will have to come back and redo the thermal paste because I'm not happy with the amount that's left. So we won't be able to power it up for long if it powers up. So that's one screw back in. Oh! I nearly lost that, and I would never have found that if it had made it to the floor. These are the world's tiniest screws. Yeah, I'm not talking because I'm having to concentrate on really small screws.
She keeps texting me.
Why?
He's showing me more photos
Of his amazing work. Also, there's this little metallic foamy thing that somehow I have to reattach. That's going to be fun. So let's click this back together. So the bottom board is reconnected to the top board. The top board's back in. Yeah, yuck. Let's get rid of the sand. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way? I feel like I'm talking to the desk a lot tonight. Because I'm hunched over it like the hunchback of DJI. Right. So that's on there. Oh no, that was actually screwed on, wasn't it? So how do I put those screws back in? Oh my word. That's going to be such a faff. The fans in my Sky RC chargers just kicked on. Can't read the chat without my glasses. Hold on. You're a tad quiet when my head's done. Yeah, I need to stop doing that. Right. How am I going to do this? This must be assembled by Chinese children with very small hands. Okay, that's how you disconnect that. That's good. So, I think what I've got to do is I've got to... Oh no, I think I bent the connector. No, it's okay. It's okay. We got away with it. We got away with it. So which connector had the little hold down on it? It was this one, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. So that went there. Right, that went there. goes there. So RF goes to there. Yeah, yeah, it's all coming together. It's all coming together. These things are densely packed. Right, that clicks in there. And then, who remembers which way round the bumpy bit went? I told you you're going to have to remember because I'd forget. Was it? It was bump towards DJI, wasn't it? Was it? Guys? Anybody? I think it was bumpy bit towards DJI. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that goes over that connector. So you have to connect that first because it's held in place by these screws, and then somehow you have to reconnect it to the one that's in the other half of the case. That's going to be an absolute bear of a job. That is going to be a nightmare. So one of the circuit boards is attached to the lid, the other circuit board is attached to the base, and then you click them together and you assemble them. So that's screwed in, that's screwed in. Let's put our little bit of metallic fluff back in. You stick there. Good. Bump to DJI. Yes. Awesome. Thank you guys. I even tagged you in Discord. You did. I remember. Thank you. Ruben's you're taking your motors off. Well, I hope you've got less work ahead of you than we've done here. This has been interesting. So, glasses off so I can see what I'm doing. How the Bart Simpson am I supposed to reconnect that ribbon connector? Oh my lord. Oh my lord, it's going to be impossible. I wonder if it just... No. I was hoping you could just like put the top on and it would like click it into place. That's it, that's it, that's how we're going to do it. We're going to hold the lid up like that. Click.
Click.
Click. It's in.
Click.
It's in. It's in there like swimwear. So, oh, there's a selection of really small screws now. So that one and that one. They are 1.5s. Honestly guys, do we dare? What do you think? Do we actually dare? Could you imagine though, if the DJI Air unit spent 6 hours under 6 feet of seawater and we brought it back to life? I mean, I don't want to curse myself, but would that not be absolutely freaking amazing? Which way around does that plug in? It's got to be that way, right? Yeah, got to be. Okay, so we're nearly there. We are very nearly there. We're very nearly at the point where we actually think about putting some DJI goggles on my head and applying power to this, and seeing what happens. Which two screws next? Those two maybe? Oh, I don't know. I think it's those two, but I've got 3 of those left, so that's a bit of a worry. I've got screws left over. That's not good, guys.
Don't you always have screws left over?
You shouldn't have screws left over. That's not how that's supposed to go. Yeah, I've got one really small DJI screw left. What do you think? USB-C first? I think it has to be on. I think it actually has to be powered up to plug it into the PC over the USB-C. Failsafe is placing his bet now, and it will come back to life. I hope so. That would be really freaking cool. That would be really freaking cool if it came back to life. Okay, so where is the flight controller? There it is. On the flight controller we have our data connection. So I'm actually going to so I'm just gonna snip those off back here, because we've got plenty of length on them, and it just means that I've now got the grey and the white still on the board, so I know where to put them back if they go back. And the power connection, yeah, I'm just going to snip those as well. So focus, there we go. Right, so that gives me the pigtail. Ruben said, I've had a wing land in water and it came back after sitting beside the fire for 2 days. Awesome. I mean, just water is, that's not too bad. But this was seawater and a lot of sand. A lot of sand. Have I got? Yes, I think I have. Have I got balance lead plugs? I think I have. Yes, I have. So 4S is 5 pin, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So we take that connector and plug it into a LiPo. You guys can't see that at all. So basically I've plugged a balance lead connector in, and what we're going to do is if the magic's Will Anderson, hello Will, how are you doing? Yes, you missed the magic smoke. You missed the magic smoke. Okay, status check. Things that died in the water: the LiPo and the ESC. ESC comprehensively died in the water. The crossfire receiver survived. The flight controller survived. The air unit, we don't know yet. So stay tuned for another exciting episode of Will It Blend? Right, okay, so from that side to that side I should get... Oh, I'm all over the multimeter, sorry. So from red to black... What the... Let's actually set that to a sensible voltage instead of 200 millivolts. 15.32, right? Right. So, what we do is we solder. Let's get the multimeter out of the way. We solder on this balance lead. And we solder the red one to that end and the black one to that end, and that creates us a little power connector. Oh, I just spun that around just to confuse myself. Red, 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 red. Okay, let's tin those up. Oh, my fingers don't want to work, come on. It's the excitement. There we go. The snow killed Ruben's old camera. Yeah. Snow gets into stuff. That's the problem with snow. Trim those down a bit. And I'm going to have to take my glasses off because I can't see. Ugh. Helping hands. So we've made ourselves a little connector that will, oops, did I just do that? Yeah, I just did that backwards. God, stupid boy. That would have been bad. Let's not do that. Always double check your polarity, boys and girls.
Look on the bright side of life.
Well, yes, always look on the bright side of life. Always
Here comes trouble.
Always double check your polarity. I don't like those wires being the same length as each other. So I'm just going to do that. And by do that I mean, oh, you can't see. Those two wires that I've cut them at slightly different lengths. Just it's a thing that I do sometimes because I don't like the idea of them touching. So if we introduce that to there, this is not plugged into the air unit. And the balance lead pins always move when you solder them because they melt. Let's just straighten that one back up. Right, bear with me guys, this will make sense. Right, so that's plugged into there. Positive to negative. That's my air unit connection. Yeah, That looks pretty good. Okay. Getting to the moment of truth now, guys. Right, so bear with me 1 second. Is anybody else scared? I'm scared. I am now. I am genuinely worried. So, I can't read the chat. I need to put my glasses on. Hold on. Yeah, everybody, cross your fingers. So we'll power up the goggles. This is the bit we really want to work. This is the pricey part. Right, which way up to that? That way up, right? Yeah. So that's not the one I want. That's the one I want. So we're ready. We are ready. What I've got to do is plug that in there, look through the goggles, and see what happens. Right, if this bit here starts smoking, chat, you all have to yell, okay? Right, because I've got the goggles on, I can't see what I'm doing. Right, goggles are on, I've got the screensaver, and I am plugging in. I got nothing. I got nothing in the goggles. I lied. I've got a picture in the goggles. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah. That is. Can you see that? There you go. Sue flipping perb. Right, unplug it quick before it melts. Oh my word. Oh my word. Guys. 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 Yeah, baby. That is a result. That is a result and a half. So we are alive. We have removed a lot of sand from an air unit, and there it is. It was a thing. It worked. Let's just do those back up. So I will have to very carefully strip it again and reapply the thermal paste. And then seal it all back up. But we've been in there once. We know what we're doing. We're professionals, right? We can do that again. But it worked. It worked. It powered up. It came back on. What are those shorts? Those are my swimming shorts. I'm on holiday. Yeah, wow. Holy crap. Guys. It survived. It survived 6 hours of being beaten against boulders by the sea. And conformal coat. I don't need conformal coat. I don't even need it. I just crash quads into the sea and they survive.
Don't get cocky.
We have to hope that when I take it apart and redo the thermal paste, I don't do something stupid and break that little connector, or because that's fiddly stuff in there to sort that out. So I'm going to put the soldering iron in the back there. Right, and put my toothbrushes up there, and we shall finish off with a little stock take of what we got and what we didn't got and what we need to get. I'm going to put those 4 screws back in the side of the camera so that I know where they are. Oh, as I flick them across the desk, that was clever. These got really rusty, which is surprising. So, stick the screws back in the camera so we know where they are. We will have a little stock take, and then we shall go off about our business. I may have an adult beverage to celebrate, and then I start my new job tomorrow, so I suppose I'd better have an early night. So guys, here we go. The scores on the doors, Miss Ford. I'm a little worried by that small DJI screw that I still have. We'll find out where that goes. Let's have a little sweep up. Clean workbench is a happy workbench. Happy little clouds. Can you tell my mood has lifted somewhat? Right, here we go then. So, things that died. LiPo, very dead LiPo. Sheriff FPV, you are welcome to see if you can charge this LiPo. If you want to give it a go, mate, there it is. You charge it, and we'll film you trying to fly it. So,
At your own risk.
where can I make my dead pile? I'm going to make the dead pile here. Is the dead pile. The other thing that died is the all-in-one ESC, and I think that was actually to our benefit, because the current working theory is that that just smoked, possibly when it got hit by the wave, that just went bang, and it went bang so quickly that it killed the 5-volt rail, and that was the end of power to the quad. Interesting, that's what's in this connector here. Can't read it. Yeah, so ground, 5 volts, ground, 5 volts, 2 amp, motor 4321 and VBAT. So I think the 5 volt on that just died instantly, and therefore everything else powered off when it went into the drink. So add that to the dead pile. LiPo, and 4-in-1 ESC. So in the alive pile, an XT60 connector. That's alive. That's I think because it stayed connected, it was pretty watertight. That's actually clean. The frame, we can definitely claim the frame. All that needs is some less rusty screws. Although, do you know what? I might keep the rusty screws just as a memento. So put that on the alive pile. Props, we can claim props because they're certainly fine. I'd fly those again. The flight controller to ESC connection, it's a bit grotty. Yeah, it is a bit grotty. Do you know what? It looks a little bit like, you know, that at one end, that's a little bit black. I'm wondering if that... it'll be interesting to see if the flight controller still has the ability to read VBAT in your OSD. That'll be interesting. So I'm tidying up as I go here as well, guys. Motors are they're a bit Schrodinger at the moment because they're absolutely full of poop. So we're gonna put the motors in the middle, and they are unknown. I will have to spend quite some time cleaning those up, and I will get back to you and I will let you know. Flight controller and crossfire receiver, they're fine. They survived. Again, we're not sure if you can see there, look. You see the next to the mounting hole, the VBAT pad is a bit black, and so is number one. So it connects to USB, it powers on, the gyros work, we can see it in beta flight. Yeah, it could be alright. Crossfire receiver, that works absolutely fine, connects, and we saw in beta flight that we had telemetry and we had all of our channels working. And last but by no means least, DJI air unit and antennas and camera works fine, absolutely fine. So we'll put those in the works pile. So that was, oh, and then of course there's assorted nuts and bolts. Oh, capacitor, we have to put that has to go in the dead pile. So 3 things in the dead pile, motors in between, everything else absolutely fine. Guys, that has been quite good fun actually. Thank you very much for joining me. 7, 8, 9, 10, 3 hours of messing around. Thank you for everybody that stuck with me in chat. Shout out to everybody who's there. Come on, raise your hand if you're still there. Will, Clive, Ruben, RC Maniac. Looks like you guys made it to the end. So thank you guys for clinging on. Thank you to everybody else that tuned in. That's it.
How amazed are you?
I am absolutely amazed. I am really, really surprised, and I'm also very pleased that I made the perilous journey across those very slippery boulders to go and look for it. I'm amazed that I found it, and I'm amazed that so much of it still works. So there we go. What a great conclusion. Hopefully coming soon will be a video of me flying it. That'd be interesting, won't it? We'll have to get these motors cleaned up. Right, great, that's it. I'm going to stop waffling, guys. Thank you very much for coming. It's been great to have you along. If you're watching this back later, then please leave us a comment down below and let us know what you think to all of that chaos. Don't forget to, as well as commenting, make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you've dinged the bell for notifications of when we're next coming up with this sort of craziness. Quad erratic will return, I think. Let me get settled into my new job, and we'll start bringing that back. That's it, we're done. I'm out of here. Have a great evening, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. Everybody stay safe. Love to all, and good night.